where I found myself, and this has been for the last 3 years, been a constant struggle as a businesswoman in my quest to help women become less of a workhorse. I actually became a workhorse. I have not asked myself in the last 3 years, what the fuck do I want to create? Anna needs to create what she wants to create. And Anna needs to feel alive and excited and feel like play. So from now on, the podcast is going to change a little bit. So that's it, girlfriend. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about all of that. All right. This is a test, but I think, here you go. Talk about it, Anna. All right. Whoops. Trying something new. I better hang off this. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. If you're listening to this episode, know that I am sitting on the ground in a place called Habitat, which is where my co-working space is, and I'm literally sitting on the ground in between like two dumpsters. Like there's garbage bags on the right, garbage bags on the left, and I'm just sitting here hiding in a corner, sitting literally on concrete, and there's like a septic tank behind me. Anyways, this episode is a little bit different from everything else you have probably heard from me. It's prompted by my desire to create something new, to just create actually, and this is going to be vulnerability alert. You know, in the last 3 years, a little bit more than 3 years, basically Claimed was born. The Claimed program was born, and thus the business was born. And in the last 3 years, we have achieved, by I say we, meaning me, my husband, who's my business partner, and the team and everything, we have achieved some incredible things, which, you know, we got to $1 million business a year in just 3 years. We've attracted some incredible women to this work, and we have changed quite a few lives. And we've helped so many women shift and transform from, you know, being single and drained and exhausted, not understanding how men work and life and everything, to like these beautiful, amazing stories of women not only attracting amazing men, getting into relationships with them, getting married, having babies, so on and so forth, but also deeply, deeply being connected with themselves. And I'm so extremely proud of what we have achieved, still achieving. And when I was creating the program, I actually didn't know what I was doing, to be honest. I just put together everything I knew based on my own research of feminine masculine polarity, embodiment. I'm a feminine embodiment coach, my own life and experience with my husband's string and other men. And by working one-on-one with clients, I just put together this program and I said, let's see what happens. So actually, it's so interesting that I talk about this now because the last 3 years have been incredible in terms of what I've managed to achieve. But where I found myself, and this has been for the last 3 years, has been a constant struggle as a businesswoman in my quest to help women become less of a workhorse. I actually became a workhorse. And in the last few weeks, there were some pretty profound shifts and changes. My professional and business life have had some struggles. I've had some burnouts, tears. I can't do this anymore. This is too hard. So if you are a business owner and a mom and a woman who wants to be in a relationship in polarity, you'll understand exactly what I mean. But even if you're not, and like I'm just a regular woman, right? And I'm really struggling with this. Oh my God, especially with my business journey has been very challenging on a personal level because what we have achieved in 3 years is what most, let's say, coaches achieve in 8, 9. I'm talking about numbers, right? And so people have always asked me, what's the rush? And I've always said, well, what do you mean, what's the rush? Basically, first and foremost, it has completely redefined my relationship with money. You know, I come from the poorest country in Europe. And, you know, when I started the program, making $10,000 a month was like, that would be amazing. And I know that most coaches would actually like to get to that level, to get $10,000 a month as income. I'm talking revenue, right? For their work, from one-on-one clients or program or whatever, like getting to six-figure business is like the epitome of coaching, right? So that's where we started. And then in 6 months, we actually did $50,000. And then I believe after that, in about a year or so, we've hit our first $100,000 in revenue with Claimed. So basically, that's how we got to like $1 million in revenue in a year. And just to be going through that in a very short amount of time, plus, mind you, in that time I've had, so when we started the business, my first daughter was around 1.5. In the last 3 years, I've basically got pregnant, birthed a second baby. She's now almost 2. She's going to be 2 in August. So I forget that, I forget the fact that, oh my God, your business journey has been freaking incredible and pretty much like a unicorn. And a lot of this stuff, if you're a businesswoman and you're wondering, Facebook advertising has been our main channel for growth. So, gosh, I'm hoping that this necklace, I really got to take it off, but I really like how it looks like on me. Can you hear it, listeners? This is my amazing necklace. So, long story short, it's been amazing, but at the same time, I have been so constricted and dried up. We had an onboarding, 4-hour onboarding session with a brilliant guy who's like a business strategist, whatever. And we talked about, what do you want, String? What do you want, Anna? And what are the challenges in the business? And then in the end, he basically gave us the recommendations. And one of the things he said, the first thing he said is that this business is completely not aligned with who Anna is. Not necessarily the business, the work is aligned to who I am, but the business itself, the marketing of it, the extraction mechanisms, I've always struggled with like I have to show up on Reels and I have to produce content. And like even this podcast has been, and it's very vulnerable for me to admit it because you're listening to this and watching it, but it felt like I'm on a freaking production line. Every piece of content that I had to produce had to be basically reverse engineered for getting more views, getting more clients, getting more prospects. And no one has asked me I have not asked myself in the last 2 years, what the fuck do I want to create? And so when this guy was basically saying all of this, like Anna needs to create what she wants to create. And Anna needs to feel alive and excited and feel like play. When I record these episodes, whether it's on the YouTube channel, on the podcast, I want to be excited about coming up and sharing things with you. Like I'm sitting here in the middle of the street, hiding on the ground, found a spot where people are not walking. Like this is ridiculous, right? I'm discovering that I'm someone who gets alive when there's contact with a person. Like if somebody else was sitting next to me, that would be amazing. Or like my zone of genius is where I'm actually in front of other people on stage, we're in real life, also on Zoom. I've been, for 3 years, week after week, 2 group coaching calls, you know who you are. I've been with you on Zoom and that's been amazing. And that has so much power. But I need to do this more live. So anyways, this format, this medium, I find myself in constant dualities and conflicts about, I have an online business that allows me to travel around the world. String and I can pick up the kids and tomorrow we can go to Bali. Nobody gives a shit. And we can run our business from there and then live actually around the world, which we have done when we met, but kids arrived and we kind of settled for a bit. So there you have that. But that requires you to be in a certain format where it's all online, right? It's amazing, but at the same time, to me personally, it's a little bit limiting because I love events. I've always dreamed of, being an actress, being on a movie set, being on stage, like that's who I am. I come to this point where I'm like, I don't want to create content anymore that's reverse engineered to get more likes, more clicks. It's such a masculine way of doing things. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to feel alive and excited and inspired to create and to share what I want to share. So from now on, the podcast is going to change a little bit. I mean, obviously dating, relationships and men is what I'm known for and is my niche. And I'm going to be talking about that for sure. But I think the podcast and the channel is such an amazing opportunity for me to share. There's going to be a period of wild experimentation. Like I have a room in my house where I have to go in, put on my ring light, have a script and like sit there and perform. Like it's so dry and uninspiring. Even here, getting out of the house into co-working space, I'm looking at nature to feel like it's beautiful. I feel inspired and I want to create, I want to talk. And yeah, it still feels a bit weird. Like I'm just sitting there talking to myself. It's like weird. I got to imagine that, oh my God, all these women are listening and watching and whatever. So the subjects that I discuss with my girlfriends, I want to discuss them with you. I'm also going to talk about style. I have certified as a personal stylist, so I've always followed my calling, but in the last 3 years, it's been like, well, Anna, if you're going to do a personal styling certification, it better fit into your work and it better bring in customers and it better bring in like where the KPIs are, why and shit like that. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I just want to talk about my style. Everything that I do outside of work, outside of this box that I put myself into, has been always like, is this going to produce results? Is this going to produce clients, clicks, eyeballs, blah, 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 shit like that. I just wanted to follow my calling, be excited and share. So I'll be sharing Well, you let me know in the comments, or if you listen to the podcast, leave me a review and send me an email and tell me, what do you want to hear or know? I'm going to be certified this month to be a personal stylist. And well, I'm very proud of the outfit that I'm wearing right now. Those of you who are listening, I'm basically wearing a merino wool top that is cream white, and I'm wearing, actually both of them are the same brand, Nagnaja, from Byron Bay, where I live. I can't really stand up, but oh my God, I'm going to be doing it. Kind of like yoga pants, but they're made from merino wool, also cream white, ribbed. They're really cool. I'm wearing boots, black boots, and a leather jacket. And I feel fucking sexy and amazing in it. Yeah, my style journey has been wild. And to think about, in the same way that I said, I come from the poorest country in Europe where people earn like $500 a month. And for me to be having $1 million business is just mind-blowing. In the same way, I was always the girl who thought that style and looking amazing and looking fashionable and whatever is for a woman not like me. So I've completely revamped and transformed that. Oh my God, as I'm talking, this is like self-therapy, okay? I'm realizing that I'm breaking through so many barriers. Obviously, my first huge barrier was breaking through the barrier of men and relationships, where I thought, just like so many of the women that I work with, and maybe that's you, I thought that, great men are somewhere there in the clouds, like Ryan Gosling and whatever, like it's story. Because my world of men was divided between assholes or feminine guys that I didn't respect, could walk all over. And then I was like, well, these women who are married to these amazing guys are somewhere in some fantasy land, unicorns, and that's never going to happen for me. Broke through that barrier, attracted my incredible husband, have 2 children with them, feminine, masculine polarity is on point, like amazing. Then my next journey was with money. So I broke through that barrier where I thought, oh my God, $10,000 a month, it would be amazing. And I was making 10 times that. And then there's personal style. Like my coach told me, Anna, you are here to not win the game. You're here to unmask the game, which I thought was really interesting. And so that's what this podcast and this channel is going to turn into. Like, this is going to be about men and relationship dynamics and everything. We're definitely going to talk about that because obviously that's my core work. That's my niche and my message. And I still love it, right? But I want to infuse that with femininity and style and sometimes even money, men, that like whatever the hell I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about this. So here's what you're going to hear next. Probably first episode is probably going to be my story, because I haven't told my story, like where I come from, how I grew up, what happened, why, at this point I don't have my parents alive, like all of that. I'm going to talk about my parenting philosophy. I'm going to talk about my style. If you want to, let me know in the comments. I'll walk you through my wardrobe, and I'll talk about my style transformation. I actually did, it was probably like 2-3 months of work with a client where we completely revamped her wardrobe. And to be honest with you, whatever I'm looking at women, I'm like, oh God, if you only knew. I look at women through Zoom and I'm like, if you only knew how to put on makeup and how to dress in a way that fully shows your attributes, you would be my true belief is that every single woman can look freaking amazing, can look amazing and can feel amazing and can be with amazing men, because most men are great men. And it's the women who inspire them to be so. Yeah, this is what I got to tell you today. I hope you enjoyed this, gangster episode. And what you're seeing right now, somebody could tell you, oh, this is not feminine. She's like, sitting on the ground in her boots and her leather jacket, like she looks very masculine. Who gives a shit? Your femininity and how you feel feminine is all inside of you. I feel extremely feminine right now with my chunky leather boots and my leather jacket. So don't let anyone tell you what femininity looks like for you, because that is your own journey. And if deep down inside you feel feminine, which means like, right now I feel full and expressed and soft and seen and in my power, magnetic, that's what feminine is. And however that looks like, whatever you're wearing, it doesn't fucking matter. You can have a gun in your pocket and still be feminine. So that's it, girlfriend. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about all of that. All right. Bye.